The screen time dilemma, effects on childhood development, and practical solutions. How much is too much? The screen, whether it is a computer, mobile, tablet, or television, is a symbol of our modern age. For our children, the digital natives who have grown up surrounded by digital information and entertainment on screens. Time on screens, that screen time is a major part of contemporary life. Screen time is the time spent with any screen, including television, computers, and gaming or mobile devices like smartphones and tablets. Digital media includes all content transmitted over the internet or computer networks on all devices. Digital media literacy is the ability to critically, effectively, and responsibly access, use, understand, and engage with media of all kinds. Children's heavy reliance on screen media has raised serious public health issues since it might harm their cognitive, linguistic, and social emotional growth. Screen media has a wide range of cognitive consequences with both beneficial and detrimental effects noted. Screens can improve education and learning. However, too much time spent in front of a screen and multitasking with other media has been related to worse executive functioning and academic performance. As screen time reduces the amount and quality of interactions between children and their caregivers, it can also have an impact on language development. Contextual elements like co-weaving and topic appropriateness are key in determining how language development is impacted. There have been growing concerns about the impact of screens on children and young people's health, CYP health. There is evidence that screen time is associated with obesity, that's overweight, with suggested mechanisms, an increase in energy intake, the displacement of time available for physical activity, or more directly through reduction in metabolic rate. There is also evidence that high screen time is associated with deleterious effects on irritability, low mood, and cognitive and socio-emotional development, leading to poor educational performance. Excessive screen time can lead to various health implications for both children and adults. Common consequences include: number one, physical health issues. Increased screen time is associated with a sedentary lifestyle, leading to obesity, poor posture, and musculoskeletal problems. Number two, mental health concerns. High screen usage can contribute to anxiety, depression, and decreased social interaction, particularly in children and adolescents. 3. Sleep disruption. Exposure to screens, especially before bedtime, can interfere with sleep patterns and quality, leading to fatigue and reduced cognitive function. Number 4. Eye strain. Prolonged screen use can cause digital eye strain, resulting in discomfort, blurred vision, and headaches. Number 5. Cognitive development. For children, excessive screen time can hinder cognitive development and academic performance due to reduced attention spans and engagement in physical activities. It is important to monitor and manage screen time effectively to mitigate these risks. The effects of excessive screen time on childhood development has become growing concern among parents and educators alike. Various studies show negative risks to children's cognitive, linguistic, and social emotional growth, as well as to mental and physical health, making it a pressing public health concern. Of course, screens can be beneficial with regard to education and learning, but prolonged exposure has also impaired socialization, executive functioning, and academic performance. Babies and young children. Many parents use screens as a pacifier to distract their children when they need a break or have other tasks to complete, because screens are captivating and grab a child's attention. For younger kids, we can see less development and exploration of imagination, less tolerance for being bored, and less ability to entertain themselves through exploration and creative play. More screen time also tends to mean less time interacting with adults and peers, which can have negative effect on language development. Kids and teens may also spend less time on homework or reading for pleasure. Until they develop language, babies learn the most from human interaction. Face-to-face interactions are essential for healthy brain development in babies and young children. It is the only way young children learn and interpret non-verbal cues. Facial expressions help them determine if a person is happy or upset with them. A baby cannot practice language skills if their caregiver always has their own face in a screen. In fact, the World Health Organization recommends no screen time for babies under 2 and only an hour per day for ages 2 to 4. To promote healthy childhood development and mitigate the effects of unregulated screen time, caregivers should establish boundaries and limits, raise awareness, implement restrictive parental controls, model the behavior they want, require outdoor play, stop using screen time as a reward, and encourage alternative stimulating activities. Phones need to be removed from schools. Phones need to be removed from schools first of all. We also need to raise awareness that experts have asked several times. Finding balance in a screen-centered world. While technology has become an integral part of modern life, its impact on childhood development cannot be ignored. Excessive screen time is linked to a range of issues from developmental delays to mental health challenges. However, it's important to remember that screens themselves are not inherently harmful. It is how they are used and the balance that is maintained that truly matters. Parents and caregivers play a crucial role in guiding children towards healthier habits. By setting boundaries, encouraging face to face interactions, and promoting outdoor activities, we can help children develop the social, emotional, and cognitive skills they need to thrive. The solution isn't about eliminating screen entirely. It is about reducing screen time for children and fostering a healthy relationship with technology. By modeling mindful usage, staying informed, and remaining involved, we can help children navigate the digital world without losing touch with the real one. After all, the goal is not just to reduce screen time, but to ensure that children grow up well-rounded, resilient, and ready for whatever the future holds. Research studies indicate that excessive screen time can fundamentally alter brain structure, affecting areas involved in cognitive function and emotional regulation. For example, the cerebral cortex, known for its critical role in memory and perception, can thin from prolonged digital exposure. The American Academy of Pediatrics recommends limiting screen time to 1 to 2 hours per day for children and teenagers, emphasizing the importance of quality over quantity. For adults, no official guidelines exist, but it is advised to balance screen time with other activities that promote physical and mental health, especially to mitigate work-related screen exposure. Emotional roller coaster for teens. Now, let us talk about what happens emotionally, especially for teens who spend hours glued to their phones or other screens. According to research by the University of Arizona, United States of America, teens who use screens a lot tend to feel more stressed and have lower self-esteem. It is like being on an emotional roller coaster, constantly comparing themselves to what they see online or feeling left out. This can lead to fights with friends or family because when you are already feeling down, it is easier to get upset over small things. The more time teens spend on screens, the more they can struggle with their emotions and relationships. These effects remind us that it is not just about screen time, it is about how it affects our minds and feelings too. How can we adapt? We should encourage everyone to moderate their screen time and incorporate healthy habits. Number one, set screen time limits. Use device setting to manage usage. Number two, create tech-free zones. Establish device-free areas to encourage physical activity and interpersonal interactions. Number three, choose screen time wisely. Opt for screen activities that are mentally enriching. Understanding the comprehensive impact of our digital habits is essential. If you find it challenging to manage your screen time or those of your loved ones, consider reaching out for professional guidance. Smart screen time. Tech tools for brain boosting. If people are going to spend time on their phones or computers, there are several types of apps and digital activities that can help with brain development and cognitive enhancement. Number one, language learning apps. Apps like Duolingo or Babbel make learning a new language fun and engaging. Language learning is known for enhancing cognitive functions such as memory and problem solving skills. Brain training games. Platforms like Lumosity or Peak offers games designed by neuroscientists to challenge the brain in areas like flexibility, problem solving, speed, and memory. These apps provide daily workouts that aim to boost various cognitive abilities. Number three, puzzle games. Classic games like Sudoku, crossword puzzles, or logic puzzle apps are excellent for stimulating the brain. Engaging in puzzles can help improve concentration, focus, and mental agility. Number four, reading apps. Apps like Kindle or Audible for audiobooks encourage reading and listening, which are both beneficial for enhancing comprehension skills, expanding vocabulary, and fostering imagination. Number five, educational platforms. Sites like any academy or apps like TED offer a wide range of subjects and learning materials that can stimulate intellectual curiosity and foster knowledge across diverse topics. Sixth, meditation and mindfulness apps. Apps like Headspace or Calm offer guided meditations that can help improve concentration and reduce stress, which is beneficial for overall mental health and cognitive functions. Number seven, music theory and learning apps. Apps like Musician or Simply Piano can teach you how to play an instrument, read music, and more. Musical learning is linked to improved brain development and enhanced memory functions. These apps not only enhance the productivity of your screen time but also provide engaging and interactive ways to boost brain function and develop cognitive skills. What excessive screen time does to the adult brain. We know children's brains are affected by spending too much time glued to their cell phones. However, research shows that adult brains are also negatively impacted by excessive screen time, defined as more than 2 hours a day outside of work hours. Too much screen time can impact our health in a myriad of ways, from eye strain and neck pain to social isolation and mental health. And in some cases, it may cause harm to our brains. The negative effects of screen time are insidious because you cannot see what is happening in your brain as you are staring at the screen. If you scrolled on your phone in bed for an hour just one morning, the negative impacts would be minimal. But if it becomes a habit, day after day, month after month, this behavior can take a toll. Since the eyes are directly connected to the brain, experts encourage us to think about our eye health to ensure overall brain health, rather than looking at our phones upon waking. Experts recommend starting each morning looking at the horizon or an object outside and far away to prevent eye strain throughout the workday. The American Academy of Ophthalmology recommends the 20-20-20 rule for adults who work on a computer. This rule suggests that individuals look at something 20 feet away for 20 seconds every 20 minutes of the day. What is happening in the brain during screen time? Increased use of screens among adults may harm learning, memory, and mental health, as well as the potential to increase the risk of early neurodegeneration. A research study shows that in adults aged 18 to 25, excessive screen time causes thinning of the cerebral cortex, the brain's outermost layer responsible for processing memory and cognitive functions, such as decision-making and problem-solving. Another study found that adults who watched television for 5 hours or more per day had an increased risk of developing brain-related diseases like dementia, stroke, or Parkinson's disease. Excessive screen time can hinder sleep, especially when looking at screens late at night. Light from the screen can delay melatonin release from the brain's pineal gland, impacting the body's natural circadian rhythm and causing difficulty sleeping. Additional studies found that adults who engage in excessive screen time or have a diagnosed smartphone addiction had lower gray matter volume. Gray matter is brain tissue essential for daily human functioning and is responsible for everything from movement to memory to emotions. Gray matter volume naturally decreases as we age. So, along with reducing screen time, engaging in activities that maintain our gray matter volume and promote brain health, such as exercise and movement, restorative sleep, social engagement, and stress management is crucial. No screen time for the first hour of the day. Lifestyle medicine experts recommend no screen time for the first hour of the day to support cognitive enhancement. Instead, we suggest engaging in a lifestyle medicine activity upon waking to promote whole body health. These include exercise, or call a friend or family member. Prepare a healthy breakfast. Meditate and count your blessings. Listen to music. Create a gratitude list or read a book. Spend time outside and get morning light. Implications of screen time. Recent studies show that children between the ages of 8 and 18 spend an average of 7 hours and 22 minutes per day on screens. That's more time than most adults spend at work. It is no wonder that parents and experts alike are raising eyebrows and asking, what is all this screen time doing to our kids? The relationship between screen time and behavior is complex, to say the least. It is like trying to untangle a ball of yarn that has been batted around by a particularly mischievous kitten. On one hand, we have got concerns. On one hand, we have got concerns about attention. On the other, there is the potential for educational benefits and improved digital literacy. Factors influencing the screen time behavior connection. There are several factors at play that can influence how screen time affects a child's behavior. Age and development stage are crucial considerations. A toddler's brain is like a sponge, soaking up everything around it. Excessive screen time during these formative years might have a different impact than for a teenager whose prefrontal cortex is still under construction. It is like comparing apples to, well, smartphones. The type of content consumed is another big player in this digital game. Educational content that engages a child's mind and encourages interaction can have vastly different effects than passive entertainment or violent games. It is the difference between brain food and junk food for the mind. Duration and frequency of screen use also matter. A 30-minute educational show each day is a far cry from 8 hours of non-stop gaming. It's all about balance, like trying to stand on one foot while patting your hand and rubbing your tummy. Tricky, but not impossible. Parental involvement and supervision can make a world of difference. When parents engage with their children during screen time, discussing content and setting boundaries, it can turn a potentially isolating activity into a shared learning experience. It is like adding training wheels to a digital bicycle. Lastly, let us not forget that every child is unique. Some kids might be more susceptible to the effects of screen time than others. Just like some people can eat spicy food without breaking a sweat, while others reach for the milk after one mild salsa chip. The bright side of the screen. Positive aspects of digital exposure. Educational benefits and cognitive development are perhaps the most touted advantages of screen time. From interactive learning apps to educational YouTube channels, the digital world can be a treasure trove of knowledge. It is like having a library, a science lab, and an art studio all rolled into one glowing rectangle. Problem-solving skills can get a serious workout through interactive media. In our increasingly digital world, technological competence is becoming as essential as knowing how to tie your shoelaces. Screen time can enhance digital literacy, preparing children for a future where coding might be as common as cursive once was. It is like giving them a head start in the race of life, where the finish line keeps moving further into the digital horizon. Digital detox. Strategies for managing screen time and promoting healthy behavior. Setting age-appropriate screen time limits is a good place to start. Creating a balanced daily routine with diverse activities is crucial. Encouraging active screen time and co-viewing can turn a potentially isolating activity into a shared experience. Watch shows together, play interactive games as a family, or use educational apps side by side. It is like turning screen time into family time. Two birds, one stone. Implementing screen-free zones and timers in the household can help create healthy boundaries. Maybe the dinner table is a no-phone zone. Our bedrooms are screen-free areas. It is like creating little oases of real-world interaction in a digital desert. Finding balance in the digital age. Balance is crucial. Nature's impact on human behavior extends to the digital realm, and how we guide our children through this pixelated landscape can have far-reaching effects. It is about finding that sweet spot where technology enhances rather than hinders development, where screens are tools for learning and connection, not barriers to real-world experience, where pro-social behavior in early childhood is nurtured alongside digital literacy. Parents and educators, you are on the front line of this digital revolution. Armed with knowledge and strategies, you have the power to shape healthy digital habits. It is like being a digital Sherpa, guiding the next generation through the peaks and valleys of the online world. But let us not forget, this isn't just a parental responsibility. Society as a whole has a role to play in supporting healthy digital habits for children, from tech companies designing more child-friendly interfaces to policymakers considering digital wellness in education. We are all in this together. More specific recommendations for families include the following. Number 1, minimize screen time. Screen time for children younger than 2 years is not recommended apart from video chatting with caring adults. For children 2 to 5 years, limit routine or sedentary screen time to about 1 hour or less per day. Number 2, mitigate, reduce the risks associated with screen time. As a family, be mindful about the use of screen time. Adults should model healthy screen use. Encourage and participate in activities unrelated to screens, such as shared reading, outdoor play, easy board games, and crafts. The American Academy of Pediatrics discourages media use by children younger than 2 and recommends limiting older children's screen time to no more than 1 or 2 hours a day. Too much screen time can be linked to obesity, that's overweight, irregular sleep, behavioral problems, impaired academic performance, violence, and less time for play. Your child's total screen time might be greater than you realized. Start monitoring it and talk to your child about the importance of sitting less and moving more. Also explain screen time rules and the consequences of breaking them. Simple steps to reduce screen time include: eliminate background TV, keep TV, smartphones and computers out of the bedroom, do not eat in front of a screen. When your child has screen time, make it as engaging as possible. Plan what your child views. Watch with your child. Record programs and watch them later. Encourage active screen time. The American Academy of Pediatrics recommends following acceptable amount of screen time limits. No screen time for children under 2, 1 hour per day for children 2 to 12 years, 2 hours per day for teens and adults. Limiting screen time also helps parents keep a closer eye on what their children are experiencing on social media and the internet. Screen time affects adults the same as children. Too much screen time puts everyone at risk of obesity, and it is linked with sleep disturbances and can affect relationships. For kids, especially teens, there are research studies concerning the negative effects of screen time and its relationship to anxiety, depression, and attention span. Tips for reducing screen time include: be accountable, be realistic, be engaged, put handheld devices away, create phone-free zones in the home, go outside. Strong evidence shows that parents' awareness raising and other straightforward actions may significantly lower children's screen time. Early, early, early excessive screen watching habits seem to follow throughout time and tend to cluster with other harmful lifestyle behaviors, including a poor diet and lack of sleep. The amount of time spent watching television and other forms of screen time among teens decreased only when the intervention included specific elements or activities aimed at reducing it. Possible additions to interventions include the use of an electronic monitoring device to restrict screen time, which allows users to set time limits for TV, digital versatile disc DVD, computer, or video game use. The TV Turn Off Challenge, a campaign to turn off the TV for a specified number of days. The conditional use of screens on physical activity or education via mass or small media such as newsletters, brochures, or billboards. Birth kits distributed to moms by maternity wards should contain information regarding newborns and toddlers seeing screens. Health visitors should provide new Health visitors should provide new parents with advice and be aware of medical evidence. Schools should take a stand on how much time kids spend using screens both inside and outside of the classroom and let students and parents know about it. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, and other organizations and other research studies have indicated that parental restrictions on screen time and the absence of screens in bedrooms both significantly lower screen time. Ideal discretionary screen time limits are zero point 0.5 to 1 hour per day for 3 to 7 year olds, 1 hour for 7 to 12 year olds, 1.5 hours for 12 to 15 year olds, and 2 hours for 16 plus years olds. Role modeling is also another crucial element. The amount of screen time parents and kids watch is closely associated. Kids who live in homes where watching TV is encouraged, for example, meals eaten in front of the TV, and the TV is on when the child gets home from school, are more likely to engage in binge watching themselves. If parents watch television for more than 4 hours every day, their sons and daughters will respectively have a 10.5-fold and a 3-fold increased likelihood of doing the same. Parents play a crucial role in managing and reducing screen time by raising awareness, setting boundaries, and providing behavioral controls. Parental limitations and the absence of screens in bedrooms have been found to significantly reduce screen usage. Parents should also set an example by managing their own screen time. Setting limits for older children. Establish clear rules and set reasonable limits for your child's use of digital media. Consider some tips. Number one, encouraging digital literacy. 2, teaching appropriate behavior. According to the American Academy of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry, side effects of too much screen time include sleeping problems, poor self-image and body image issues, reading fewer books, spending less time outside, lower grades in school, struggling to maintain a moderate weight, having a narrow scope of interests, mood or attention disorders. Here are a few general rules and guidelines that may be useful for setting screen time limits and boundaries. Use parental controls when necessary to limit the content younger children can watch. Work with older children and teens to set their own boundaries for healthy screen time. Turn off all screens a half an hour to an hour before bedtime. Restrict electronic devices at the dinner table or during family activities. Chores, homework, and other activities may need to be completed first. Help them understand why less screen time can be healthier mentally and physically. Be honest with them about how difficult this can be and praise their ability to follow through. Make sure the other caregivers in their life know about and agree with these boundaries. Don't forget to model good screen time behavior yourself. To grow up healthy, children need to sit less and play more. New World Health Organization guidelines on physical activity, sedentary behavior, and sleep for children under 5 years of age include: children under 5 must spend less time sitting watching screens or restrained in prams and seats. Get better quality sleep and have more time for active play if they are to grow up healthy. Achieving health for all means doing what is best for health right from the beginning of the people's lives. Early childhood is a period of rapid development and a time when family lifestyle patterns can be adapted to boost health gains. Improving physical activity, reducing sedentary time, and ensuring quality sleep in young children will improve their physical, mental health, and well-being, and help prevent childhood obesity and associated diseases later in life. Failure to meet current physical activity recommendations is responsible for more than 5 million deaths globally each year across all age groups. Currently, over 23% of the adults and 80% of the adolescents are not sufficiently physically active. If healthy physical activity, sedentary behavior, and sleep habits are established early in life, this helps shape habits through the childhood, adolescence, and into adulthood. What we really need to do is bring back play for children. Bring back play for children. This is about making the shift from sedentary time to playtime while protecting sleep. The patterns of overall 24-hour activity is key. Replacing prolonged, restrained, or sedentary screen time with more active play, while making sure young children get enough good quality sleep. Quality sedentary time spent in interactive, non-screen based activities with a caregiver, such as reading, storytelling, singing, and puzzles, is very important for child development. Children 1 to 2 years of age should spend at least 180 minutes in a variety of types of physical activities at any intensity, including moderate to vigorous intensity physical activity, spread throughout the day. More is better. Not be restrained for more than 1 hour at a time. Have 11 to 14 hours of good quality sleep, including naps with regular sleep and wake-up times. Children 3 to 4 years of the age should spend at least 100 minutes in a variety of types of physical activities at any intensity, of which at least 60 minutes is moderate to vigorous intensity physical activity, spread throughout the day. More is better. Not be restrained for more than an hour at a time. Have 10 to 13 hours of good quality sleep. In summary, too much screen time can affect a child's health, development and learning. Children's brains are not designed to grow and develop from screens. The brain is designed to develop from human interaction and exploration of the natural environment. Too much screen time can affect children in various ways, such as hindering language, cognitive and social development, negatively affecting the development of attention span, squashing the creativity that can result from boredom. Tips to limit screen time include 1. Model healthy behaviors. 2. Delay introducing screens. 3. Create clear rules and stick to them. 4. Provide fun alternatives to screens, which include play outside, indoor exercise, toys, books, explore new hobbies that do not involve screens. Remember that screens are a privilege for children, not a right. Let children be bored now and then. Children need to experience boredom to help develop attention. When screens are used as a strategy to keep children occupied, the child is not using brain functions to self-regulate and deal with boredom. If those brain functions aren't strong because they haven't been exercised the way the brain needs, it can be a problem later in life. Whether they are sitting in a classroom learning or eating at a restaurant, children need to be able to focus on things that may not be as interesting as smartphone games. Remember, it is not your job as a parent to provide constant entertainment for your child. In fact, this can be detrimental to their development.